Hello, dear friends. I'm Professor D.G. Trivedi. I'm going to take you a third lecture related to the clocks and timer. Now, in this third lecture, you are going to study the pulse forming circuits. What is the pulse forming circuit? Actually, in a flip flops and counter and other sequential logic circuits, instead of rectangular clock waveforms, which is occurring at a regular interval of time, we are interested either positive triggered or negative triggered circuits, and that is either positive transition pulse or a negative transition pulse. That means the pulse width of positive transition or negative transition should be very narrow. This kind of pulse forming circuits are required, and that can be possible, that can be constructed using the propagation delay time of different gates. It is sometimes necessary to use a series of narrow pulses in place of a rectangular clock waveforms. Two such waveforms are shown in a figure 7.5. The positive pulses occurring at the leading edge of the clock will define the positive transition, while the negative pulses occurring at the falling edge of clock pulse will define as a negative transition. You can see here, this is your clock waveforms. The clock waveform makes a transition from low to high, which is shown by this upper arrow, and when the clock pulse making a transition from high to low, which is shown by down arrow. So, this is called trailing edge of clock pulse. This is known as a leading edge of the clock pulse. Actually, in edge triggered circuits, we don't require a pulse width should be this much, but we require that pulse width should be smaller than this. So, this pulse width we are interested to make it narrow, and the circuit is going to be edge sensitive. So, the pulse is going to be occurring at either the rising edge of the clock pulse or a trailing edge of the clock pulse. And rising edge of the clock pulse, the pulse which is going to be occurring, that pulse is which is also going to be occurring at regular interval of time, because every rising edge of the clock pulse, these pulses are going to be occurring. So, they are also at perfectly periodic, and it can be utilized as a clock pulses in edge triggered circuits. So, this is a positive edge triggered, and this is going to be the negative edge triggered, which is going to be occurring on trailing edge of the clock pulse. By taking the advantage of propagation delay time through a gate, it becomes a simple matter to change a rectangular clock into series of pulses. So, here we are going to take the advantage of propagation delay time to convert a rectangular waveforms into series of either positive transitions or positive pulses or a negative pulses. There are numerous circuits are going to be there, but here we are going to utilize with a NAND gate, which is going to be followed by AND gate for positive transition, and NAND gate followed by OR gate, which is generating a negative transition pulses. You can see this circuitry. The clock pulse, which we have shown in a previous figure, is given directly to the input of the NAND gate. Both the input of the NAND gate is shorted, and hence this NAND gate is working as a NOT gate. So, output of NAND gate is a complement of the clock pulses will be there. Now, output of the NAND gate A and the clock pulse directly both are given to this AND gate, and output of this NAND gate is going to be occur after a propagation delay time, and this is directly occur at same clock edge is going to be there. Now, output of both the AND gate, input is going to be high, both the input is going to be high, then and then only output of AND gate is going to be high, but this will occur after a propagation delay time, that you can see in the waveforms. This is your clock waveform. So this arrow indicates that it is changing from low to high. So this is called a positive transition. Leading edge of the clock forms. But output of the NAND gate, which is the inverter, which is going to be low, not instantly at the same time, but it is going to be low after this much propagation delay time. So it becomes slow. So during this brief instant of time, that means out this dotted line and this line, this brief instant of time, the output is going to be occur of the NAND gate, and that is going to be delayed by propagation delay time TP. You can see that. Now, these two are the input of the AND gate. That means when the output of the AND gate is going to be high, when both the input is going to be high. So during this brief instant of time only, the A is also going to be high and the clock input is also going to be high, then the output is going to be becomes high. But output is resulted after this propagation delay time only. So output is going to be occur after a propagation delay time TP, and the width of this output is also the propagation delay time only. This is called a positive pulse or positive transition will be taking place. This symbol box with a input is shown with the triangle only, which indicates that this is a positive transition is going to be occurring or positive pulses are going to be created like this way. Similarly, the another figure, figure 7.7 indicates that how negative transition, negative pulses are going to be occurring. You can see here the same way the NAND gate is going to be utilized, and NAND gate is going to be followed by OR gate. Clock is given directly to the NAND gate, and NAND gate two inputs are shorted, so it will work as a NOT gate. So output of the NAND gate, which is complemented of the clock waveforms, and this output of the NAND gate and the clock pulse both are given as the input of the OR gate. Output of the OR gate is going to be low when both the input is going to be low. Then and then output is going to be low. Otherwise, output will be remains high. If any one of the input is going to be high, output remains high. Only when both the input are going to be low, then and then only output is going to be low. This is your clock waveforms. You can see the waveforms. This is your clock waveforms. So output of the clock waveform is going to be delayed by propagation delay time here. So output which is going to be high initially is going to be low after propagation delay time, and on a trailing edge also you can see that when the clock input is changing from high to low, that is shown by this down arrow, then output of this NAND gate is changing from low to high. But this will occur only after propagation delay time. That means during this propagation delay time, both the inputs of the OR gate is going to be low. This clock input is also low, as well as this output of A is also low. So during this time, that means during this propagation delay time, both the input of the OR gate is going to be low. So output of the OR gate is going to be low. But that is also going to be delayed by propagation delay time. So normally output of the OR gate is normally high, but it will be low during this brief instant of time, that is when both the input is going to be low. So this way the negative transition or negative pulses are going to be resulted, which can be shown here by this kind of symbol. This box indicate negative transition is going to be occur. Input you are giving a clock pulse, and output is this kind of negative transition is going to be occur. Difference of this two you can visualize here. Here there is only triangle is here, while here there is a triangle and bubble is there, which indicate there is a negative transition is going to be there. This kind of pulses is going to be occurring at the trailing edge of the clock pulse only, and this kind of pulses are going to be occurring at the leading edge of the clock pulse only. So that way the positive transition and positive pulses and negative pulse. This positive pulses means normally it remains low and it becomes high for a brief instant of time, that is for propagation time of a gate. Here also, it normally remains high, but it becomes low for propagation delay time Tp only. So that is called a negative pulses or negative transition will be there. In figure 7.6a, the clock is applied to a NAND gate and an AND gate at the same time. The output of the NAND gate A is delayed by Tp. The output of AND gate positive transition is high only when both its inputs are going to be high. This is shown as the shaded regions of the waveform in a figure 7.6b. The output positive transition is also delayed by Tp through the AND gate and it appears as a positive pulses. Each output pulses positive transition is delayed by Tp from the leading edge of the clock and each pulse had width equal to Tp. Any digital circuit that incorporate the pulse forming block in figure 7.6a is said to be positive age triggered, since it will be change the state in synchronism with the positive transition of the clock, or in a upper arrow. Every time there is an upper arrow in a clock pulse will be there, leading edge of the clock pulse will be there, this positive transition is going to be occur, or pulse is going to be occur. That's why it is called positive pulses are going to be occurring. The box in the figure 7.6c is general symbol for a positive age triggered circuit. The small triangle inside the box is called a dynamic input indicator. So this is very important. There is a line and triangle inside that box which indicates that the dynamic input is required. That means transition of the clock pulse is required, which simply means the circuit is sensitive to the positive transition. In figure 7.7a, clock is applied to the NAND gate and an OR gate simultaneously. The output of the NAND gate A is delayed by Tp. The output of an OR gate is low only when both its inputs are going to be low. That means A is also low and clock input is going to be low. This is the shaded regions of the waveform. The output negative transition is also delayed by Tp through the OR gate and it appears as a negative pulse. Each output pulse has a width of Tp and each is delayed by Tp from the falling edge of the clock or trailing edge of the clock. Any digital circuit that incorporates this pulse forming circuit is said to be negative age triggered, since it will change the state in synchronism with the negative transition of the clock. The box in figure 7.7b is a general symbol for a negative age triggered circuit. The small triangle is the dynamic input indicator and bubble shows that input is active low. The small triangle on the output indicates that negative transition is normally high and is active when it is low. This triangle has the exact same meaning as the bubble. In fact, the IEEE standard uses this symbol interchangeably. You will see both the symbol used in industry and on manufacturing datasets. So this kind of symbol you must be familiar that what it indicates, because in digital electronics, whether it is you are getting from the data books or from the manufacturing books, whatever they are giving the information, they will give you through this kind of symbol. Just remember, they both means the same thing, active low. It should be obvious that inverter at the output of the AND gate in figure 7.6a will produce a series of negative pulses. They synchronize with the leading edge of the clock pulse. Now, there is one more thing. You can see that I will show you in a figure. Here, if this is a pulse is going to be occurring, this clock pulse, continuous clock pulses are going to be given. That means every positive edge of the clock pulse this kind of positive pulses are going to be occurring. But if you need a negative pulse like this, with this circuit, what you will do? Output of this one is connected to one more inverter, not gate. That means this positive pulse is going to be converted like negative pulse. And this negative pulse is going to be occurring at rising edge of the clock pulse or leading edge of the clock pulse only. Not here, it is going to be occurring at trailing edge of the clock pulse. So, this is important. Similar way, if you are providing here the NOT gate, output of the OR gate is followed by inverter, then the positive transition of this kind is going to be occurring at trailing edge of the clock pulse and falling edge of the clock pulse. This kind of positive transition is going to be occurring instead of trailing edge of the clock pulse, negative transition which is going to be inverted like positive transition, which is required sometimes. Similarly, an inverter at the output of the OR gate in figure 7.7a will produce a series of positive pulses in synchronization with the falling edge of the clock. These circuits, a variation of them, are used extensively with age triggered flip flops and subject to the next chapter. That means this kind of either positive age pulses or negative age pulses we are going to utilize in flip flops or counters or a register, or you can say that combination sequential logic circuits that we are going to see in actually next semester. If you care to look ahead at the flip flops symbol, you will see the dynamic indicator and bubble dynamic indicator used extensively. So, this thing we are going to look use of this one pulse forming circuit we are going to make in a next semester, that is with the flip flop and counters. Now, the second part of this lecture is Schmitt trigger circuits. Schmitt was the scientist actually. So, he has invented this circuit, that is why it is called Schmitt trigger circuits. What is the use of the Schmitt trigger circuit? Very important Schmitt trigger circuit is there. Schmitt trigger is electronic circuit that is used to detect whether a voltage cross over a given reference level. So, when a predetermined reference level is going to be there, if the input voltage is increasing or it is crossover that reference voltage, then output of the circuit is going to be swing or it is going to be change, and that means you can detect that it has crossed the reference voltage level. So, this is very important use of Schmitt trigger circuit. It has two stable states and it is very useful as a signal conditioning devices. So, Schmitt trigger is extensively used in a project in digital system. Given a sinusoidal waveform, a triangular waveforms or any other type of periodic waveform, Schmitt trigger will produce a rectangular output that has a sharp leading and trailing edge. Such fast rise and fall times are desirable for all digital circuits. So, very other important useful of Schmitt trigger circuit is this. You can give any waveform at the input, either that input waveform may be the sine waves or it can be triangular waves or it can be any time varying periodic waveforms is going to be there. Schmitt trigger will produce a rectangular output that has a sharp leading and trailing edge. That means transition time is very small. It comes to nearly ideal clock. That is required for in all digital circuits, and that is why Schmitt trigger circuits are very useful in digital systems. Figure 7.9 shows the transfer functions V0 versus Vi for any Schmitt trigger circuits. The value of Vi that causes the output to jump from low to high is called the positive going threshold voltage, VTH plus. The value of Vi causing the output to switch from high to low is called negative going threshold voltage VTH minus. What does it mean? What is the transfer function? Transfer characteristic. Transfer characteristic means the relation between input and output voltage. If you are changing the input voltage and it will cause to change in the output voltage, the relation between input and output is called the transfer characteristics. V0 is taken on y axis versus Vi is taken on x axis. So, the x axis you are changing Vi independently, and corresponding to whatever change in the V0 that is taken on y axis. Now, the value of Vi that causes the output jump from low to high. So, normally output is remains low, that is our requirement, that is stable state, it remains into the low state. When you are increasing the input voltage and at one particular threshold input voltage, when output switch from low state to high state, that input voltage is called VTH plus, or that is called positive going threshold voltage VTH plus. Similarly, when the input voltage, then after if you increase the input voltage, it remains the output to be in high state only. But then you reduce the input voltage and you are reducing the input voltage, and at particular level of the input voltage, output again switch back from high to low. That input voltage is called negative going threshold voltage VTH minus. The output voltage is either high or output voltage is going to be low only. Input can be anything. Input can be sine wave, input can be triangular waves, input can be any time varying functions, but output is going to be either high or low. That is the actually characteristic of Schmitt trigger circuit. When the output is low, it is necessary to raise the input to slightly more than VTH plus to produce a switching action. So, switching action of the output will take place only when it exceeds VTH plus. It will change from low state to high state. The output will then switch to the high state and remains there until the input is reduced to slightly below the VTH minus. So, output remains into the high state as long as input is greater than VTH plus voltage. Now, if you want to switch back, then what you have to do? You have to reduce the input voltage, and when the input voltage is reduced less than VTH minus, again the output is swing back from high to low. That kind of waveforms you can see in this circuitry. The output will then switch back to the low state. The arrow and dashes line shows the switching action. Here, this is the input voltage and this is going to be output voltage. This is independently, you can change from 0 to 5 volt or something or whatever it is required. Output voltage is initially in the low state, that is shown by this arrow. So, when the input voltage is going to be low, output voltage is also going to be low, but when the input voltage is exceed VTH plus, that means up to this input voltage you are increasing, and at this particular voltage when the output is switching from low state to high state, that means output is swinging from low state to high state. Here this is shown by this upper arrow. So, output is swinging here from low to high, that input voltage is called VTH plus, positive threshold voltage. It remains into a high state as long as input exceeds VTH plus. Now what happens if you are decreasing a input voltage, and when you are decreasing input voltage, it is shown by this arrow. So, when the input voltage is decreasing all the way and it is becomes lesser than VTH minus, the output is swing from high level to low level, which is shown by this transition down arrow. So, here at this particular value of the input voltage, output swing back from high to low. This input voltage is called VTH minus, or it is called negative threshold input voltage. The difference between this VTH plus and VTH minus, that difference is called hysteresis, and this hysteresis is desirable because of this hysteresis only the fast rising and falling edge of the clock pulse which is going to be generated is possible. That means the transition time of the clock pulse is reduced because of the hysteresis only. The difference between the two threshold voltage is known as a hysteresis. It is possible to eliminate hysteresis by circuit design, but a small amount of hysteresis is desirable because it ensures a rapid switching action over a wide temperature range. Hysteresis can also be very beneficial features. For instance, it can be used to provide a noise immunity in certain applications. Digital modem, for example. So, hysteresis is desirable. It provides a noise immunity in certain applications like digital modems. For example, there are certain IC which is also contain this kind of Smith trigger circuits. One of the IC is TTL7414, is a hex Smith trigger inverter. That is 7404 is a normal hex inverter. That means normal NOT gate is there. 6 NOT gate are contained in 7404. 7414 is a hex Smith trigger inverter. That means it is also having a action of inversions, but it contains a Smith trigger circuit also. So, there are 6 Smith trigger circuit in one DIP dual inline package. In figure 7.10a, a standard logic symbol for one of the Smith trigger inverter in a 7414 is shown along with a typical transfer characteristic. Because of the inversions, the characteristic curve is also reversed from that shown in a figure 7.9. Looking at the curve in figure 7.10b, when the input exceeds 1.7 volt, the output will switch to the low state. So, here there are two things you have to understand. 7414 is a Smith trigger inverter. That means the output is complement of the inputs. Output is not same as the input. In a previous circuits, previous transfer characteristic, you can see that input is also low and initially output is also low. When the input exceeds this VTH plus, then output swing from low to high. And input reduce less than VTH minus, then output swing back to the low. So, this is the transfer characteristics of normal Smith trigger circuit. But if it is with the inverter like 7414, this transfer characteristic is going to be reverse. That means initially when the input is low, the output will be high. That we are going to see in figure 7.10. So, and here the circuit is designed in such a way that normally input is low, so output is high in 7414 inverter with Smith trigger. But when the input is going to be increasing and it exceeds 1.7 volt, the output swings. That means it is changing from high to low. So, this 1.7 volt for 7414, when it is changing from high to low, this is called VTH plus. The output will switch to the low state. When the input falls below 0.9 volt, the output will switch back to the high state. The switching action is shown by the arrow and dashes line. The TTL 74132 is also a quad 2 input NAND gate that employs Smith trigger with the similar hysteresis characteristic as described before for 7414. You can see here all the things. Figure 7.10c shows the standard logic symbol for one Smith trigger NAND gate. This is a NOT gate 7414. which is a 6 hex or inverter are there, NOT gate is there. Input is low, the output is high. That you can see in this transfer characteristic. Input is 0, the output is high, that is 3.4 volt. And the input you are going to increasing, and when the input you are going to exceeds 1.7 volt, then output switch back from high to low. So it is inverter action is going to be there, and it remains to be low as long as input exceeds 1.7 volt. Now you are decreasing the input voltage, and when you are decreasing the input voltage up to 0.9 volt, it remains to be low. Just you are decreasing slightly below 0.9 volt, output again switch back to the high state. So this characteristic is complement of the previous characteristic because this contains inverter. Difference between 1.7 volt and 0.9 volt. That difference is known as a hysteresis. In this particular case, it will be 0.8 volt will be there. There is another IC 74132 which contains a NAND gate with the Schmitt trigger. This inside the NAND gate, this kind of symbol indicate this is a NAND gate which is having a characteristic of Schmitt trigger circuit. That means fast rising and falling edge of pulses will be there. Now, corresponding to this, there is one example is there. That example we are going to study here. A sine wave with a peak of 2 volt drive one of the inverter in a 7414. Sketch the output waveform. When a sinusoidal voltage which is given as the input to the Schmitt trigger and it is an inverter, so output is normally high, and when the input voltage exceeds 1.7 volt, output goes from high to low. The output stays in the low state until the input sinusoidal drops below 0.9 volt. Then the output jumps back to the high state. Figure 7.11 shows the input and output waveforms. You can see here, normally the output remains to be high because it is inverter, because the input was low. When the input is exceeding 1.7 volt, this is a 2 volt peak sine wave is there. So when the input is exceeding 1.7 volt, output jump from high to low. Again, the input is decreasing now. You can see that because it is sine wave, it is changing with the time and it is decreasing. When it cross over 0.9 volt, the output switch back again from low to high. This is again it is going to be happening at 1.7 volt, the output switch back from high to low, and again it becomes high. So this kind of waveform is going to be possible with the Schmitt trigger inverter circuits. This illustrates the signal conditioning action of Schmitt trigger inverter. It has changed the sine wave into rectangular pulse with fast rise and fall time. So this is the advantage of Schmitt trigger circuit. That means input was sine wave, it is converted into rectangular waveform which is having fast rise and fall times. That means this can be work as a clock waveform for any digital system. The same action would occur for any other periodic waveforms. Now here a noise signal is also removed using the Schmitt trigger circuit. So that application we are going to show here. A hysteresis characteristic of a Schmitt trigger is very useful in changing a noisy signal or a signal with a slow rise fall times into more nearly a ideal digital signal. So noisy signals or a signals with slow rise and fall time, that signal can be converted into ideal digital system, digital signals. A noisy signal is illustrated in figure 7.12a. Applying this signal to the input of a 7404 inverter will produce a multiple pulses as its output as shown in the figure 7.12b. So this kind of a noisy signal is with you. That means input is continuously changing like this one. This kind of input signal you are giving to the 7404, which is a normal inverter input is low, output will be high. Input is high, output will be low. So what happens when the input is switching a crossover or some threshold signal, the output is also changing, and this kind of multiple pulses is going to be occurring at the output. So output of this one is not a one particular pulse like this one, but it is having multiple pulses. That means output of this one is going to be continuously going high and low like this one, and that is not desirable, because if this kind of signal is given to the digital system, then that digital system is also creating a false triggering will be there, or bouncing so many times, which is unwanted. So instead of that, if you instead of this normal inverter, if you are going to utilize 7414, then this kind of signal is going to be producing a perfect rectangular waveforms, that is going to be very useful for a clock waveform for a digital system. Each time the input signal crosses the threshold of 7404, it will respond to the multiple output transition or the result. When they use as a ACE trigger circuit, this will produce a numerous unwanted positive transition and negative transition. The Smith trigger will eliminate this multiple transition as shown in the figure 7.12c. When the input rise above VTH plus, the output will go low, and however, the output will not again change the state until the input falls below VTH minus. Thus, the multiple triggering is avoided. So, that way the Smith trigger circuit is useful. A Smith trigger is occasionally incorporated in IC, for instance, the 74121, which is discussed in the next section. Now, related with this chapter, related with this lecture, assignment question is given here 1, 2, 3. What is the meaning of hysteresis when applied to the Smith trigger circuit? What is the difference between the inverting and non-inverting Smith trigger? The Smith trigger can be used as simple inverter. What is another good application of Smith trigger? So you understand this meaning of hysteresis and all that difference between these two. Difference between inverting and non-inverting. So previous one which you have studied, that input is low, output was also low, and it switch back from low to high on VTH plus and go from high to low on VTH minus, that was non-inverting, and later in 7414 is inverting is there. And this question, Smith trigger can be used as simple inverter, and what is the another application of Smith trigger is reducing the noise level, and multiple pulses is going to be avoided. Thank you very much, friends.